This boy named Johnny was watching a couple making love in their bedroom. The worst thing was that the couple making love in front of the boy was none other than his friend's parents. Johnny wanted to clap his friend's hot mother, that's why Johnny went to his friend Rafa Ardo's house to teach him math. There, he noticed Rafa's hot mother, Esther Ardo, a lovely middle-aged woman, whom he fell madly in love with at first sight. He gave Rafa an arithmetic problem to solve before heading downstairs to spy on his mother. She was reading a magazine there, and he couldn't take his eyes off her. After snooping on Esther for a while, he went to Rafa's room and told him that his math was too weak and that he needed to teach him regularly, to which Rafa agreed. The next day, when he went to Rafa's house, he noticed his mother was quite happy that Rafa was now getting better in math because of him. After admiring his teaching abilities, she resumed her house chores while Johnny watched her with dirty eyes, having erotic thoughts about her in his mind. The next day, after teaching, he went to see Rafa's hot mother, but he was surprised to see that his father was also there. Rafa sat on the couch with his father watching a game, while his mother sat beside him. Rafa's father received a phone call and left to attend to it. Since Rafa was preoccupied with the game and his father had left for the phone call, Johnny began having fun peeking at her from such a close distance, and nobody was there to stop him. He went on to think that if Rafa's father and mother stayed apart like this, he could easily intimidate his mother. Sometimes he gave Rafa a tricky mathematical equation and went downstairs to see what his mother was doing. There, he noticed his mother and father arguing about something. Johnny began to hear them quietly from a distance. After a lengthy argument, his mother left for her room, but she noticed Johnny standing nearby, peering in. She asked him why he was standing there, to which he replied that he was just examining the painting on the back wall. He added that Rafa's mother wasn't convinced by his reply and was sure he was spying on her. Furthermore, he overheard her in her room talking to her husband about changing Rafa's tutor. Johnny now understood that if Rafa didn't do well in math, his mother wouldn't let him continue teaching him, which would ultimately mean he wouldn't be able to see her. The following day, he stole a math question paper from school and, using it, helped Rafa get ready for the test. As a result, Rafa achieved good grades in mathematics, securing Johnny's position as a tutor at his home. Rafa's parents appreciated Johnny because he had helped their son improve in math. Rafa's mother caressed Johnny on the cheek, which he interpreted as a positive sign in his mission of intimidating her. Rafa's father asked Johnny if he could join them for basketball tomorrow, but he declined, saying he had something else to do. The following morning, when Johnny learned that Rafa and his father had left for basketball, he knocked on their door. His mother opened the door and asked him why he was there, to which he responded that he had forgotten his book there. His mother invited him in and started looking for his book while he stood close to her and continued to stare at her with arousing thoughts. After some searching, she informed him that his book was not present. Actually, he hadn't left any books there, he had simply come to quench his thirst for watching Rafa's mother daily. Then, after noticing her earrings, he informed her that his mother had the same earrings too, but she had died months ago. He added that he always missed her, to which she consoled him and told him that he could consider her his mother. She then served him a drink, and they both started talking more. The next day, he had gotten late teaching Rafa, and it was already evening. So his father told him to stay at their house for the night. Rafa took him to the guest room where he could spend the night. There, Rafa kissed Johnny unexpectedly, revealing his secret love for him. At midnight, he left the guest room and quietly entered Rafa's mother's room, where he began watching her sleep and fantasizing about having an intimate encounter with her. As the days passed, Johnny got a little bit closer to Rafa's mother. One day, he noticed Rafa's mother and father arguing about something. And his father eventually left. He seized the opportunity and handed a letter to Rafa's mother. The next day, she read the letter with Johnny standing in front of her. In it, he expressed his undying love for her. Johnny began to imagine his uncle being present and encouraging him to talk. Rafa's mother was deeply impressed by Johnny's declaration of love for her and began smooching him in the kitchen. They continued their wild kissing on a couch. Next day, Rafa told his parents that Johnny would no longer be visiting their home and that they would need to find a new tutor for him. We see an injured Johnny sitting on the floor. We learn that Johnny and Rafa had a fight and Rafa had beaten him severely because he had found out everything going on between him and his mother. But despite being beaten up, he went to meet Rafa's mother in the park. There, she returned his love letter to him. He tried to persuade her that they could leave this city and live happily elsewhere. But she declined, claiming that he was too young and of her son's age, and they could not have any relationship. She told him to forget everything that had happened between them.